absolutely glorious episode of I Must Break You, the weekly break show that I do live on here every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain. If you live in Mountain, I don't know why you would live in Mountain. We got a weird one today. I'm very excited. I know we do a lot of like mainstream stuff, and I've got some mainstream stuff that I had picked up previously. But I have some really fun, weird stuff. These actually sent to me by my friend Corey Privatera, who lives in Tokyo. Sent me these a while ago. He was very excited about them. I haven't found an opportunity to open them, so I was like, all right, well, next time I do a weirdo miscellaneous one, we're going to do that. So I'm going to open those. I picked these Magic the Gathering cards up around Thanksgiving. I was in Vegas and I just happened to see like somebody was selling these cheap. I don't even know if it's a good set. I didn't research it, but I'm excited about it. And then this really, really fun. I got a box of the Valiant Era cards by Upper Deck. Sort of like late towards the end of the run of Valiant's standing and everything like that. But I really do love that. We see the artwork right here. This is the cover to Exo Manowar number 0 by Joe Quesada. Matt and hoping to never look at Midnight Hunt cards again. The set was really kind of buns. All right. So Matt Froome saying from there that this is not the best set from Magic the Gathering, which is probably why boo, not blood. It was really kind of boo. Yeah, it's also a weird thing. So I'm guessing that this is not the best set to come in, and that's fine. I don't know, whatever the hell. An artist series card? That's a thing? That's a thing that came in here, I guess. An artist number 28 of 81. So does each of these come with an artist card? All right. Well, first off, I want to say that these lands are beautiful. This mountain is gorgeous. So, I'm not going to be mad at the artwork. Bat Whisperer. As an opponent lost life this turn, created 1/1. So okay, so this is like clearly just a like horror version of Magic the Gathering. I'm sure you guys are super into this. I don't know. Do we have to spend time on the commons too much? I mean, I feel like you guys can figure out that they're not that impressive. We have Hungry for More, Vampire Socialite, Play with Fire. Matt Froome, you're going to be my guy to tell me whether or not the card I pulled is actually good. Shady Traveler. Right here is good for him. All right, what the heck's going on here? The same guy? Am I pulling the same guy in a row? What's going on with that? Black and white, black and white. Okay, so here's our rare. It looks like I think that's a mythic rare, which is nice. At least it's red. Red is usually mythic rare, if I recall. So that's pretty good. Flip that dude over. They have backsides. Okay. You're saying okay. So this right here shows that they become a stalking predator. Okay. All right. I get it. Shout out to Matt. Matt telling me that the dragon that I pulled, the Moonveil Regent, is actually a pretty good card. Okay. The art on these cards rips. Wait. Oh, and this is gold as well? So is that a rare? Are there 2 rares per pack? And then whatever this uncommon thing, I have no idea what's happening. This is the foil. Oh, so my foil card is a rare. So that's fun. That's kind of nice. And then whatever the nuisance engine is going up, has a different... Man, I'm so removed from Magic the Gathering. I'm so far gone from it. But I'm going to be 100% honest. This looks like it's a good pack. The set boosters are guaranteed at least one rare, up to 4, I think. Okay, so this is fun. These are relatively recent, from what I understand. 2021. So perfect time. thank God we have Matt here helping me out because, Jesus, I wouldn't know where to begin with. No. Yeah, the art card is really cool. So we have a wolf token. That's really fun. And then we go back here. So we have our... yeah, these are awesome. These look so good. I mean, I don't think anybody that's going to be getting these cards is going to be like, oh, this one isn't pretty enough. So we have a foil planes. That's awesome. These rip. This is the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, as we're talking about that. So we have this common ass guy. I mean, holy smokes. Drownyard Amalgam, Flare of Faith, Arcane Infusion. We have Thermo Alchemist, Visions of Ruin. That's one of our rares. Again, we have a different logo than normal. That's fun. We have this little guy right here. We have the Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Disturb for 4 and a blue. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its Disturb. Okay. We have another rare, Haunted Ridge. This is looks like a dual land here. And we have a foil Human Soldier. Well, it seems to me, at the very least, that they do stack these packs, which is really interesting. And as a reminder, if you want some of these cards in the mail, all you got to do is sign up and become a member of my Patreon, patreon.com/JeffMay, JEFFMAY. Oh, that's awesome looking. These art cards are dope. So if you head on over to their patreon.com/JeffMay and you sign up for the rookie card or Two-Face tier, you will just get stuff in the mail every month. People should be getting their packages in very soon from last month because I just mailed them out 2 days ago. Eccentric Farmer. A grizzly ghoul. This is a cocaine ghoul. Diagraph Rebirth. We have Curse of Obsession. Enchant player. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's draw step, the player draws 2 additional cards. And then at the end, at the beginning of their end step, they discard their entire hand. Well, that seems like it could be a good card. Harvestide Infiltrator. We have a Covert Cut Purse. We have another rare, the Catilda Dawnheart Prime. She's green and white. I used to play green and white back in the day. Protection from werewolves. Human creatures you control have tapped to add 1 mana of any of this creature's okay, that's cool. We have a foil uncommon here, and then we have whatever the hell this guy is. Signpost Scarecrow. So these are really great. And then again, if you do sign up at patreon.com/JeffMay, all you got to do is watch these and then send me the messages. So Matt is saying that the set boosters were designed to be more exciting for people to open. Fewer commons, more uncommon and rare cards, as well as the art stuff. And a weird subset they call the list of somewhat thematic old cards. All right. I mean, these are actually very interesting to open. I'm not going to lie. Like these, the art cards are awesome looking. This is for me. This is like, these Plains cards are gorgeous. I'm actually really glad I picked these up. I got them for a pretty good price. I think I got them for like, it was a place that was going out of business, you know, like some toy store, and they just had these like sitting in the back. So I think I got these for like $2 a pack, and this was worth it. I'm a big fan of what's going on here. Ominous Roost. Oh, this is different art. So that art is so different. This is more like comic book illustration than when we think of like the classic painting of Magic the Gathering that we've seen all the way through here. This is just straight up like line work. I like that one a lot. Somebody doesn't ask for that one, I'm going to keep that. So we have Shady Traveler, creature human werewolf, and on the other side we see a Stalking Predator. Good for him. Here we have creature human warrior werewolf. Does he flip over? He does. Oh my God. To a Tavern Smasher. Okay. All right. Matt saying that these are really good for draft boost tournaments and sealed tournaments and stuff. So we have Fateful Absence, which is a rare. And our foil is Raise the Effigy. Damn, that card looks cool. A Wicker Wolf. Raise the Effigy. Man, someone's going to ask for this one in the mail. And if they don't, they're an idiot. This rips so hard. Like, look at that card. This is so cool. Oh, that looks so cool. I know that if you're like, oh, it's a zombie token. I know if you're like a fan of Magic the Gathering, you're probably rolling your eyes so hard at me looking at a foil common card and being like, it's so cool. But one of the things about being removed from gameplay of a certain game, I haven't played Magic the Gathering in, years, is that you get to appreciate just the artwork. We have our spider token right there. All right. So our art card. But like, are you trying to tell me I'm not supposed to get super stoked on whatever this absolute ghoul is here? This thing's awesome. I pulled the Blair Witch. You're going to get mad about that? That's awesome. Again, these planes are so gorgeous. They look like, chilling stories to tell in the dark artwork. It's so good. Yeah, so I'm getting in the comments that the set design itself not great, but the art design is unbelievable. And I am going to agree with that. This is really grisly. Crawl from the Cellar. Yeah, these are gorgeous. They're just really beautiful cards. I am a huge fan of what I'm seeing here. And again, what I'm reading here, it's negligible at this point in time because the last time I was buying cards that I was playing, like buying packs of Magic cards I was playing, it was like Urza's Legacy. Like it was like Urza's Saga, Legacy, Destiny. Like whichever the last one of those ones was, that's when I got it. And that was like 2002 or something like that. And we have our Shady Traveler again, a Mysterious Tome. I'm getting Joe to say shout out to the American Gothic Zombie card. We'll bring that back up here. Rotten Reunion. Classic. I just found out recently that that painting was designed to be a father and daughter, but the father was actually the dude's dentist, the painter's dentist, and he was like not stoked that he ended up being used that way. Curse of Surveillance. We have a foil. So enchant player, enchant players. So really a lot of this is like forced consumption, which I think is interesting. This Immolation card, I think Magic the Gathering is made for foils. Like the way the colors are so vibrant and the way they use paintings the way they do. Like Star Wars did foil cards as well, and they were just kind of boring when I was playing. Like Star Wars cards, Magic, I think, lends itself to foil better than, I think even better than Pokemon. Maybe equally, but I just think that the sheer depth, and that's our wolf token. What's our art card going to be? All right, a brave elven knight, or not elven, the ears look human, but a brave sort of woodland knight we got going on here. Awesome card, very good. We have a forest. We have Revenge of the Drowned, which is a terrifying title for anything. We have an Organ Hoarder. I tried very hard not to say that with my Massachusetts accent. Organ Hoarder. We have Component Collector. That is jarring. Blessed Defiance. Cathartic Pyre. Purifying Dragon, that's badass. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature defending play controls. If that creature is a zombie, it deals 2 damage. Cool. Sacred Fire, that reminds me of the Inhumanoids. If you guys ever watched that, that looks like the Decomposer. Spellrune Painter, and again, we have that sort of comic book style illustration that we're seeing here. I didn't... For some reason, these are the only ones. This is going to make me go back to the one I pulled before. This guy, Tavern Ruffian, to Tavern Smasher. These are great. The dragon really does hate zombies. Hey Ryan, it's good to see you. If I find a Wendigo or anything like a Wendigo, I'll let you know. You know I will, my friend Ryan Tremblay, watching the show. Great friend of the show, but also, a great crypto fan. A mythic Sunstreak Phoenix. This is a nice card. If it's neither day nor okay, so this obviously the mechanic is that there are daytimes and night times. That's pretty rad. We have a human shaman. God, look at that. Look at how the foil pops on this thing with this ardent elementalist. Like, look at the eyes. The fire in the eyes glowing off of the foil. Man, that rips. That's awesome. That's just so cool. Wait, did I just see another foil in here by any chance? Sorry about that. I just thought I saw a foil. I didn't. Apologies for the delay there. Yeah, that dragon really has a hard on for zombies. Really not a fan. So out of what, 6 packs of these, we pulled 2 mythics. We pulled a rare foil. Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm not mad about that for, the $15 or whatever I spent on these. I'm not mad about it. So we got Valiant. We'll go Valiant next. I think I want to open the Valiant cards next. And then I want to go to the Bassmania because the Bassmania ones just seem so unhinged that I really want to finish up with something just utterly insane. So these were sent to me by, I believe my friend Walker Morgan sent those. You may have heard his name on the show before. He tends to find weird stuff to send me to open, and I absolutely love it. Adore that guy. He's super nice. Always has nice things to say on Instagram. He'll DM me on Instagram and say just nice stuff to me, and that's nice. And also he'll say, "Hey, I got a box of Valiant cards for you to open." These are by Upper Deck. These are Valiant from like '93. I think these cards are from '93. And Valiant was a very interesting, 93. Valiant was an interesting company at the time. They were, running a distant 4th to 5th place, but they kept buying ads in Magic in Wizard. So we got a little bit of stickiness, but not too hard. They're glossy, but they're not too sticky. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Batman cards that we've opened before. Like you'll hear them. The art design on the wrapper. Well, the reason you like this art design is because this is by Joe Quesada, who I don't know if you know, but he's now like the president, I think, of Marvel. Quantum and Woody was great in the reboot. You are absolutely right. So we have Rye. One of the things that Valiant really kind of was at the time, it had very sort of like, while Image was pushing forward and all the really weird stuff, Valiant was really hiring a lot of like Silver Age style artists. So you look at like, it's not particularly dynamic, but it tends to be very like correct art, which I find interesting. You thought I was getting more gaming cards because we have Rye here, we have Solar Man of the Atom. So the big characters they had were like Solar, Exo Man of War, Rye. We might get some Ninjak, which they renamed to Ninja K, maybe a Bloodshot or two. But really, it's like really good fundamentals, which at the time were just really boring. Some people were just generally bored by Magic the Gathering. Not Magic the Gathering, excuse me, by Valiant at the time. So you have Magnus Robot Fighter here. And again, they also like Magnus and Solar were originally gold key characters. So these were characters that had comics in like the 60s. Silver Age artwork, it's less dynamic than the stuff that you were seeing in or the style that like kind of like the classic style that we think of when we think of the Silver Age. It's less dynamic than your like Rob Liefeld's, Mark Silvestri's, Jim Lee's, less stylized than your Sam Keith's. It's just very like functional, like the bodies, the way like their poses are correct and their anatomy is normal. But like at the time, like nobody cared at how normal. Like this is the most jacked guy in the Marvel universe, and in Valiant and in the Marvel universe, that would be just like a mailman. So this, I'm guessing, is this hardcore? And I'm saying that, but then I look and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense because look who drew it. I don't know if you can see, but that is Jim Lee's autograph. I couldn't even, I was looking at it through here, but yeah, this is a Jim Lee piece. So, and like, look at the difference, by the way, in art style versus like the Jim Lee piece here. And then this like Valiant, like studio style. Like, look at the difference. Like, you can really, really tell what's going on. Now, what I'm wondering is if they say like February number 3. So, okay, so there, I wonder if these are broken up into, so like we have the card number right here, but we also have like hardcore February number 3. So if they're like really kind of putting them all together. So this would say Magnus Robot Fighter, January, August, number 15. So they're really just, I guess, giving you brief summaries of, yeah. So this, I believe, is Bloodshot number 0 or Bloodshot number 1. That artwork is by Barry Windsor Smith. And he's one of the more dynamic versions of that. Of course, we know Bloodshot from the Vin Diesel movie. Yeah, it's number 1, not number 0. But again, Barry Windsor Smith, like I know, Matt Severin, who's a big artist guy, like he loves different artists. Like I think he'll want this one in his package this month. We got that Solar again. Is this Exo Manowar? They're wearing Exo Manowar style armor. It's Rye, okay. And then the same card. Good job, Upper Deck. Upper Deck, not they're doing great now. Shout out to my good friend. You guys listen to Jeff Has Cool Friends, TJ Shevlin. All right. Matt, I didn't know you were actually watching. Matt Severin actually in here watching the stream, catching me talking about him behind his back or so, I thought. So look at that. He is in here in the comments and he said, yeah, for sure. That's the kind of thing. You seem like a Barry Windsor Smith fan, man. So we have Eternal Warrior. I'm wondering, so like what I want to see is if we can get like a foil card or something, because I know there are randomly special random insert cards featuring light FX technology. 8 cards per pack, 120 card set, special random light effects technology cards. So what do we got here? What is this? So, okay. It looks like Eternal Warrior, if I recall. Yeah. Like you can tell, like the studio guys, it's a little more boring than what you're used to, if that makes sense. That Harbinger, yeah. All right, so this one's actually really cool. I like that. Magnus Fight Robots, and Christmas trees. All right, so Eternal Warrior versus Ultimate Warrior, yeah. All right. Oh, this one. I know this one because this was like in the Wizard Hot. This is Harbinger number 1. This was like Wizard had this in the hot comics all the time, right? Harbinger number 1. See? I remember that. This has got to be Eternal Warrior because they're dressed like Prince Valiant. Yeah. So you guys can peek it out there. Solar. So this right here, now we can see, like, this is Frank Miller energy to this. This looks like a Shadow Man. You can tell Shadow Man by the way. Had his own video game. It was quite good, apparently. We go. There we go. Here we go. Kind of Frank Miller looking piece right there. We have an Exo Manowar again. And a Magnus number 0. That was a good image. We kind of saw that one a lot. So yeah, the Mike Slater in the comments talking about the Valiant Era with the foil embossed covers. Yeah, let's also remember too that they did a crossover. They did a crossover with Image Comics called Deathmate. It's like a big deal. We got Magnus in here. We got some more nerds. We got a jukebox getting tossed around. Damn. That's intense. What's going on with his arm? The Dawn of History. Yeah, okay. Yeah, your lore is boring to me. Shadow Man here. This one's cool. Look, I like this one a lot. We saw this one before. Mike Slater asking for the toss jukebox. Yeah. And again, I say this before, but if you are a member of that Patreon tier and you want these, if you go to patreon.com/Jeff May and sign up for one of the tiers that'll get you a package, you can just DM me on there or on social media and tell me what you want. And I will put that in an envelope and mail it to you next month. All right. It's a little annoying because the cards are just like they're the tiniest bit. They're like friction sticky. They're not like I don't have to peel them apart. If they were bricked together, I would just be like, screw this, I'll open something else. But they're just sticky enough to be annoying. And that does happen, of course. A lot of cards from 1993 were annoying. We have that classic upper deck collation where some cards are upside down. Well, this one looks cool. Let's Bloodshot getting taken out by Exo Manowar pretty handily. Yeah, Exo Manowar famously had a video game with Iron Man. If you guys remember when Marvel was not doing well and they were crossing over literally everybody, and there was an Exo Manowar Iron Man video game crossover. This is a definitely an interesting, we see this pose right here, and you can't help but think back on sort of like Frank Frazetta, kind of like Conan style stuff in the quasi-futuristic thing. Now, this is unfortunate that the first paper loss we have is in a really killer card. This was the cover, I believe, for Rye number 0, and it's the first appearance of Bloodshot. And I'm really bummed out that this card, yeah, see Rye number 0. I love this cover. I genuinely love this cover. And the fact that this is the first and only card we've gotten so far with visible paper loss, that's a bummer to me because I really like that card. We have a Solar. Ooh, this is numbered interestingly. Yep, there we go. Our first, our very, very first special art effects technology card is whoever the hell this is. So we'd like to congratulate her on all of her successes in being a card that we wanted to pull here. And then this guy getting his ass beat. Yeah, it's fun. No paper loss on any of the other cards except that one Rye number 0, which is one that I'd be like, that's one I would keep through. Yeah, it was a Sega Saturn game, the Exo Manowar Iron Man. Magnus does have a Zap Brannigan miniskirt. You're not wrong. It's actually, I think it's just like a long tunic. This Bloodshot, again, really slick. All right. Well, that's a pretty intense looking one. That's a hell of a robot to fight there, Magnus. He's punching robots. You're going to get a lot of just Magnus fighting robots. I guess it's not just a clever name. This is Exo Manowar suiting up with his biosuit, I believe, for the first time. So that would be Exo number 5. This guy's just hanging out. Christmas trees again. And, well, that's pretty intense. Yeah, but it is really interesting when you look at like what talent was doing what work where in comics in the early to mid 90s. And it really did become sort of this weird free-for-all of what was happening. And a lot of people accused Valiant and Wizard Magazine of sort of, colluding behind the scenes to make Valiant more popular. And sort of artificially sort of watering the stock, so to speak, of this company. It's not to say that the people doing the work were particularly bad. It's just the books themselves they didn't stand out. So it's just all dark now. Whenever we have something with the black ink, we're going to have paper loss because this is obviously an homage to The Dark Knight Returns. And it's Harbinger. So this one, it says Unseen Art is what this one is called. So we have another. I don't want to wreck it. We have an Unseen Art card, right? So it's got that little embossed right down there. And what a boring thing to unsee. So we have Solar again. Solar. Magnus chopping robots' heads off. I do like that. That's sick. That's the kind of thing you get tattooed on you, and then people are like, "You like Magnus?" And you're like, "No, I just like dudes karate chopping the heads off of robots." That's much more interesting. So, call a few more. I do wish these cards were a little less. Yeah, Dre Alvarez making Penny Arcade references in the comments here. I have a couple Penny Arcade collections, paper collections, like books. We have this classic Rye cover. I think I have this still somewhere. Yeah, Rye #1. I do have this in my collection still. Yeah, like, see, like, imagine this, nothing to say, like, this is it's a fundamentally sound artwork, but it also looks like it belongs in the 70s. Like, imagine a different artist doing this exact same page, this exact same panel, and like, I can't help but think, like, to be bored by what I'm looking at there. Some of it is obviously like some of the more dynamic artists that they're hiring for these, like this right here. This is just screaming Barry Windsor Smith. Yep, there it is right there, Barry Windsor Smith. Like this kind of stuff you see in like it leaps and bounds as far as like interest. Even though this is a much more intense, active drawing, the style of the substance here is just scores beyond that. So, Dre asking, what's a phrase for art that ages well, but the modern version of it didn't age well? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, if you were like Image Comics artwork, it was, it was like Ritalin. Like it was just, there was so much going on. It was so frenetic and busy. And wild. And then you saw Valiant, and again, not bad, but really just fundamentals. It really stuck to basics. Like this is supposed to be a really intense piece, guys yelling, blah, blah, blah. I'm bored by this. This I'm not bored by. Like this one is just fun. Is this Archer and Armstrong? No, it's Eternal Warrior. Again, we got that Rye #1 cover. Magnus is, if you'll believe it, fighting a robot. We have Solar and Magnus robot fighting. I will say that opening these in 1993 would have been a really good. I believe Michael Golden did fill out some Solar, which also stands to wit. Like Michael Golden is a legend, and if you guys don't know who Michael Golden is, among other things, he's the creator or co-creator of things like Bucky O'Hare, as well as characters like Rogue. But he definitely was sort of like he did have to at some points fit into that Marvel style every once in a while. So it would stand to wit that some of his work would find itself in Valiant. Plus Jim Shooter, I believe, was working Valiant at that point, so that's cool looking. Oh, what's this? Is this okay? So this is an unseen art piece as well. Oh, that's cool looking. And let's see. So this is Lapham and Layton, which two very very talented artists, Bob Layton and David Lapham. Good piece. This one's cool looking. That's cool. Yeah, I always felt like Image Comics were for cool kids like me, and Valiant Comics were for old people that were 25. Like that's the kind of energy that I was bringing to that. Like, you guys remember when you thought 25 was old? I remember 25 it seemed old to me. I don't know. And now I look back and I was like, I would literally kill someone to be 25 again. Oh, you hear that? A little sticky. No paper loss, even though it was sticky on this one. And yet, oh no, actually, no, there's a little paper loss. You can see it there. All right, well, this one's intense. This looks like must be Bart Sears, I'm guessing. We have a Magnus card. Whoa, what's he doing fighting a non-robot? He's going to have a grievance at the Union. See, this right here, I'm pretty sure this is Bart Sears. I think Bart Sears did Turok. He was really big for like Brutes and Babes, that like Marvel, that wizard or thing about how to draw. All right, we got a guy hanging out. Good for him. Is this there? Yeah. Okay. This is Exo Manowar #1 because I remember this being the cover to their #1. See, I remember this being the cover to their #1 and being like, "Isn't this the most boring ass cover to a #1 comic you could possibly see?" It's just the guy standing there, pinup style, which is fine for a cover, but just like against like a drab gray background with a not that impressive man. Oh, we have some unseen art again coming our way. Ooh, the whole gang's here. The gang's all here. There we go. I would not be able to figure that out. God, it's just so boring. It's so boring. Why am I supposed to want to buy this? You have a guy in like... If the WWE was trying to do an Iron Man character, this would be how they'd dress him. It looks like Max Moon. It's just, and again, something against the artist. No, I'm actually going to say something about the art here, and I can't make this out right here. Somebody look up the cover artist to Exo Manowar #1. This is a perfectly sound thing that does not belong on the cover. Yeah, like you see this cover and then you're like, well, I need to get something else. Like it's just boring. Like there's nothing dynamic when you're a kid at the height of comics. Like comics in the 90s were like comics in the 40s. Like it was just this like massive thing nobody could get a hold of. It was so big. And then to have Valiant show up and have the most uninspired covers. Like, it's not to say the stories were bad or even the art was bad. It was just particularly uninspiring. Yeah, Logan Trent saying it looks like bad action figure artwork. It kinda. But even at this time, McFarlane was putting out toys with his artwork on them. So, like... Okay, this one's awesome. Oh, of course, because it's Barry Windsor Smith. Like, I'm like, oh, well, this one's pretty great. And then you look a little bit closer and you see, oh, it's Barry Windsor Smith. Barry Windsor Smith, famously cutting his teeth on, like, Conan and stuff. Ooh, a logo. Ooh, the Harbinger logo. The trade paperback cover. You suck, Valiant. I mean, I guess that stands to wit that Jim Shooter, who was the editor-in-chief, I believe, at the time, was like, we're going back to just good old-fashioned comics. And everyone's like, we don't want that. Okay, that one's pretty cool. Like, I'm not going to say something is bad if I don't think it is. This Rye piece is actually pretty decent, right? But, like, some of it's just so uninspired. Which is actually funny to me that some of this is so uninspired. And yet, so when you do see the ones that do look great, like whoever the colorist was on this one, great job. So like, whenever you do see one that's like particularly great or really fascinating, to be fair, Matt Severin saying he used to call it Harbinger instead of Harbinger. So did I. So don't worry about that. I will give flowers to the pieces of artwork that deserve them, even though the structure of the body is a little bit strange here. That man has a weird neck to trap to shoulder ratio here, but Magnus Robot Fighter, you know, he's doing good. It's funny, you could tell like all the stuff that's Louisiana based is the Shadow Man stuff. Hey, look, it's the team. Fabian Nicieza took over for the reboot area. Fabian's great. I actually really like him. We are friendly and, you know, follow each other on social media. But yeah, Shooter was the editor-in-chief, and Nicieza took over for the Reboot Era. And when you say the Reboot Era, do you mean the one of the early 2010s? See, this one's good. That's a good one. And again, look at the signature. It's Barry Windsor Smith. Who, by the way, I wasn't stoked on Barry Windsor Smith when I was... Yeah, just look at the difference in, like... just the textural differences of these things. I don't know. Magnus fighting a robot, like he does. Solar. Can you guys hear me peeling these apart, by the way? I'm surprised there aren't more that are damaged. Exo Manowar on a horse, on a Pegasus, I don't know. Choking out like a Roman sentinel. Yeah, I didn't read this book, if you can believe it. I actually have... Oh, you know, I wish I went and got it. I actually got graded. I have the Exo Manowar number 0 gold, and which is this cover. I got it graded on a lark just to see what would happen. And I think it came back pretty low. It came back like an 8. The late 90s reboot that had like N64 Turok. Yeah, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, that did really well as a video game. And boy, did they print a lot of copies of that chromium die-cut cover of Exo Manowar. Dr. Solar here. Again, yeah, he does have weird... Oh, we got paper loss on his weird neck. All right, we have Unseen Art again. Inked by Valiant Editor-in-Chief Bob Layton, Magnus and Legia. Ooh, look. He's beating up the piss robot. Good for him. Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith, he really did some good stuff. When he did his like creator-owned book, Rune, was about a vampire, kind of like a alien vampire that like ate people's heads. I always thought that was really interesting. Yeah, it definitely, what the hell? Oh, Solar number 10. I remember this. Solar number 10 was the all black cover. Oh, thank God this has paper loss even though it was facing the wrong direction. Good for it. Yeah, Solar number 10 was like, that was a big one. So yeah, Matt Severin saying, check out Barry Windsor Smith's Monsters. It's fantastic. It's got vibes with Wrightson's Frankenstein. You know, that's good stuff. I actually talked about Wrightson's Frankenstein on last week's episode of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman. This is an interesting one. They definitely went out of their way to do voodoo stuff here. So it looks like we got an insert coming up, so that's good. I desperately need to know what's going on between these two. This guy's like covered in a light bright, fighting a ninja in slacks. That's all you need to know. There's another card. Yeah, there you go. Exo Manowar melting a dude that's throwing up the metal sign. So we have an FA. I think that's the shiny ones. Ooh. It's a man with a comic book. How meta. I should get these graded. I actually have a PSA. I should have a reveal in the next week or two. A PSA reveal of some cards that I sent in when they did their TCG sale. I'm going to put these. I think it's going to be funny to put them. Maybe I should get these graded for fun. I think that would be a waste of money is actually what it would be. It would be a waste of money. Yeah, the foiling looks good. Again, we just can't have clean cards here, can we? We can't have a Solar number 10 cover without having people... And what's funny is it looks so much worse here than in... Is it the light? Is the light doing it? No, you can see it. Like, I can't see them with my naked eye, all the white spots, and then you see it in the camera. You can see my head. Hey, everybody. Yeah, the foiling is good. They were pretty good at that. Upper Deck was doing, you know, they were pretty high on the hog. They didn't know that the market was about to fall apart. Oh, look, we get another. I mean, I should just jump to this, right? Foil. Oh, and it's Archer and Armstrong holding an Archer and Armstrong comic. Oh, great. I should try to collect like a Gem Mint 10 set of like Valiant Era. That would be so embarrassing. I'd be like, I have the world's only Gem Mint 10 set of Valiant Era insert cards. This one keeps making me think of Santa for some reason, the way it's designed. Well, that one looks fun. It's just pushing his face. So this is Don Perlin. That's the artist here. Again, a very capable artist. Don Perlin. I think I actually have artwork by Don Perlin. Like, very talented man. All right, this one rocks. That's a good one. Who's the artist here? Do we see it? Do we see his signature here? I found it. It's right up here. Wouldn't you know it? It's Barry Windsor Smith. I should just stop guessing and just, if I genuinely like one, I should assume that I'm going to find a BWS somewhere on the page. What I will tell you is this. For those of you that are wondering, or if you're concerned in any way, Valiant historically treated its artists well. And I know from my people that worked in the comics world that no company has treated them better than Valiant did, at least in the modern day Valiant, the stuff that came out in the 2010s. So in that regard, like, shout out to Valiant for really being a company for the people, That's a cool one. Is this Frank Miller? This looks like Frank Miller. Like, if you look at it, it looks like somebody's coloring. I think that's Frank Miller. Like, look, FM92. This looks like something Frank Miller would do, but if you look at the way this is structured and the way the light is hitting on all like the folds in the fabric, I genuinely think this is a Frank Miller piece. That's fun. Archer and Armstrong #1. Feel free to look it up, somebody. That's cool. All right. Whoa, geez. This rye. What's this? Rye #3. Again, so boring. Exo Mana Warrior is supposed to look cool. Matt Severin is asking for this Frank Miller one on camera. So I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do. So Matt is asking for that right now in the live chat. And this is how much I support the people that support me back. I am putting this in a penny sleeve. I am putting this right here in a rigid top loader. And then I'm going to go put this in his envelope right after I'm done. Matt, you got it. You got that, Miller. Shadow Man's boring ass right here. I do like the foil packaging. I actually like, I don't know if like you guys can hear it, but like the packaging is a very satisfying. It's not like that, like the soft plastic of like the Impel Marvel stuff at the time. Like the foil packaging is very upper deck. Look at them making fun of him for being a nerd. Exo Manowar's hand coming out of hell. He's going to fight Freddy. Exo Manowar versus the space ribbon monster. Like, it's also because I didn't read these a lot. Like, that it's all just very funny looking to me. I don't know. Maybe the Harbinger. There we go. This one, I bet is also Frank Miller. Like now that we think about it, because I don't think we saw anywhere in here, but like if you look at like the way this is structured, this also looks like Frank Miller. We have heavy black inking in the back. Look at the way you can usually Frank Miller is really visible by the amount of texture he puts into clothing. Like that's like a thing he just really loved to do. Ah, look at that. Bloodshot number one, Barry Windsor Smith. I have a whole set of these things. Exo Manowar choking that guy out. You said bottom right on the knife. Frank Miller 92. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, another Frank Miller one. Joe picking it up. Shout out to Joe for figuring that one out. We have flat top with a weird space knife. We have an FA2. It's Harbinger. Oh, look at that. Another foil. Another foil. Yeah. Yeah. Matt Froome in the comments saying, this kind of makes me want to go find some old Valiant trade paperbacks. No, you're not wrong on that one. So you can see what Turok is doing to Captain. He's got Destro's little crossbow there. And there we go. Yeah, so they definitely got Frank Miller for it. I almost opened the Bass cards. No, we're saving those for the end. It's going to go a lot quicker. We have a couple more packs to go here. I will move much more quickly. I feel like we've seen the entire set at this point in time. Oh, look at that. That's a good one. No paper loss on that one. That one looks good. On the back, it gets paper lost. That one looks a lot better than the ones we've seen before. So they are sticky. It seems to me like the benefit of those, like the FA ones, the foil ones, is that because they're upside down or backwards, however you want to put it, I don't think they're getting a lot of the stress of being stuck together that some of the other ones have had. We got Solar and his solar web. All right, he's getting eaten by this thing again. We got this going on. We have another Frank Miller, Archer and Armstrong. Got this Turok thing again. And this has been the backside of it a lot, was the Harbinger trade paperback. But yeah, these are I actually don't hate these cards, but it does definitely remind me of just how on a different playing field Valiant Comics was at the time. They just weren't doing it for, I think, people my age. It just wasn't there. Oh, looks like we got, another foil one, the Magnus Robot Fighter. We can just skip to it. Although that's interesting. Have we seen this one before? Have we seen that card? That's a cool looking one. He's dealing with whatever that AH is doing. Another Barry Windsor Smith. Seen it. That Dark Knight Returns style. I wonder if this one, now that we've seen that Frank Miller was involved with these, I can't see the FM92 on this one. Really, the paper loss on this is catastrophic. And let's see what our foil is going to look like. And it is Rye with a Magnus Robot Fighter This is where I made his first appearance, which is the opposite side of Magnus number 5's. Oh, that's right. They did like flip book things at the time. I remember that. That was embarrassing. God, he looked so silly. All right. Looks like I got 3 more packs of these, and then we're going to the Bass Mania cards, baby. This is what you all came here for. We have the Magnus Robot Fighter Pieta. We have Bloodshot. We have Archer and Armstrong and their dinosaur buddy. We have Shadow Man fighting Cave Woman. We have Santa, Man of the Atom. We have Magnus fighting some robots. And Christmas. Alrighty. All right, 2 more packs to go. We have the Frank Miller car toss. We have Magnus from... This is, I believe, the cover of 24, 21, 24, 25. I remember I had this one. It's 21. I remember I had that. I would just pick them up randomly because I thought they were going to be worth money. These unseen artwork cards. Let's see what this one is. Ooh. They were going to use this, but it was too interesting, so they backed out. I love that they were like, no, we're going to pull this. We're not going to have this artwork. And it's like, why not? Yeah, again, good Barry Windsor Smith piece right there. You can tell. It's very visible. Rye. And that guy right there. Last one of these, and then we get to move on to Bass Mania X. And again, I have no clue. So if anybody wants to look up and get ahead of me and find out how we would find any of these cards in any form of value, I do not speak Japanese. I'm sorry. All right, we have Bloodshot, Magnus, Solar. I mean, people call him Solar, and I always thought that was a weird one. Magnus fighting that dude, and then finally Magnus fighting a robot, because he is a robot fighter. Alrighty-o, here we come. Last one coming your way is these Bass Mania X cards. Again, these were sent to me by friend of the network, former guest of Jeff Has Cool Friends, Koi Privatera, also known as Science Patrols. He makes toys. He's a toy maker in Japan. Just an absolute delight of a human being. Is this a trading card game? If you look, they have trading card shapes, which I think makes it even... Yeah, this is a trading card game. Top water, shallow, middle. Taking bets on whether or not these lures would make better. So look at... This is so funny. It's just like lures and stuff. And these are awesome. Oh my God. And so it's like, okay, so we have lore cards here. Then we have a Technic card. I don't know what this says. We have a fish card. I don't know what kind of fish this is. It's got a little catfishy mustache. A Technic card. These are fun. An event card. I think this says fishing on it. These are fun. I love these a lot. Oh, look, we got a Bassmaster. A lure, an event, a Technic. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if there are like rare cards. Like I have no clue about this game, but I'm in love with every ounce of these cards. This is an unhinged thing to exist, and it is a very Japanese sort of scenario here. Lore card. I need to learn how to play and become a world champ. Yeah, like we should all strive to become world champions here. We have a bottom lore here. We have a bottom worm. Yeah, better at crediting the photographers than the cards are at crediting their artists. Yeah, no kidding, huh? With deep sea lore, we have another Technic. We have this fish again. We have this Technic. We have this boat. Is this the same set? Did I pull the same cards? No, I don't think I did, but they're all some of these are very similar. I also like this guy's face seems familiar, but also like he's a fish, you know? Look at this guy. He's everything but top water. This is a useful card. This is probably our rare right here. Can use it in any scenario, really. Same thing with this one. Oh, look at that. An event card. I'm such a crazy person that I'm going to start going to Google Translate and uploading these cards and translating them, just so I know what is going on here. Oh, this one looks good. That's an interesting. Oh, I just turned my volume down. There we go. Sorry about that. And then there we go. Yeah, see, at first I was like, did they give me the same cards? And then I looked and I'm like, oh no, these are slightly different. I'm gonna stack them up and find out if there's like a rare or whatever. But these are fun. I should get these graded. Send these into PSA. They'll be like, I don't know what this is. Right. So we have, oh, this one's fun, right? Very useful. See, this one's just shallow, but I bet it works really well. This is a top water one, so this one will skim it. We got this guy going on here. We got more, whatever the heck this is going. This guy. So we have commons. Clearly we have some commons here. This one we've gotten in each pack. The cast, we've gotten this guy, this friggin' guy. He won't go away. These are fun, though. That would be funny to learn and play this game. Ooh, we haven't seen this one before. This event card is called I Caught a Fish. Oh, that's cool, too. I actually really, this is a very peaceful card. And this looks like they're working on a reel of some sort. Well, folks, there you have it. I got to be honest. I think we did some good stuff between the Bass Mania, between the Magic the Gathering, and of course the Valiant Era cards. I think we pulled some really fun stuff. And again, most, if not all of these cards are going to be sent out to people. So definitely hit me up, patreon.com/JeffMay, and sign up for either the rookie card tier or the two-face tier. And I will absolutely make sure that you get the ones that you want, as long as it's not like the only one that somebody else already got. Yeah, it seems like these were really fun. I know Corey, when he sent me the Bass cards, the Bass Mania cards, he was like really excited to see what they are. So I'm very excited for that. Thank you all for joining me. Of course, I am here every Wednesday at 2:00. Although I believe in a couple weeks I might have to delay it, do it earlier, do it later, because I have a recording. But generally speaking, I must break you every Wednesday at 2:00. And again, I do not like having all of these cards in my house. I want to give them all away. So head on over to patreon.com/JeffMay and help me give them away to you. Thank you all so much for joining me. I had such a blast. I always do. It's so much fun doing this. Talk to you soon. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you soon. And if you want to see me live, I'm over at You Don't Sports' YouTube account. I will be live at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to talk with Adam Todd Brown and Kim Kroll about what's happening in the weekend sports stuff. A couple of fun stories. So it'll be really fun. All right. Love you all. Bye. I hate saying it like that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said bye. Just bye.